Welcome back, everyone, to QuizzleSlam, Algonquin's #1 movie trivia contest, mainly because we're the only ones that we know of. We've got three great contestants here to determine how much they know about their favorite movies. Let's meet them. Ben, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Good. How's that bald head treating you?
So you're going right for the low-hanging fruit, eh?
That's
I'm
what I do best,
assuming
Ben.
assuming
Brianna,
the
how you
questions
doing?
are also going to be okay. We're moving forward.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good as well. So, I heard you were so excited for tonight's show, you actually locked yourself out of your room earlier today.
I did, sadly, but I plan on coming back and winning, so.
That's the spirit right there. Jesse, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. I'm hosting QuizzleSlam, so that's how you always know I'm doing fine.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
For any newcomers to the show, let's explain how this will work. I'll be asking 20 questions based upon some of the most cantankerous, hardest movie knowledge that there is out there. Our contestants will buzz in by buzzing with themselves, with their own voices. And if they buzz in and answer correctly, they'll get 3 points. If they buzz in and answer incorrectly, they're out of the question for the rest of the question. If you buzz in after that, but for the two remaining contestants, you get 2 points and then 1 point if they get it wrong as well. Sounds simple enough, right? Let's get right to the questions. Question number 1. Despite fluently speaking German, ncă me refused to let Arnold Schwarzenegger voice the role of the Terminator in the German dubs of the movie franchise. For what reason? Was it A, because it cost too much to use his voice? B, they thought he was a poor voice actor? C, he's not famous in German-speaking countries? Or D, they considered his accent uneducated?
Buzz.
Jesse first.
D.
Jesse, that is correct.
Let's go.
I believe he was born in Austria, and in kind of a rural area of Austria. And to most German speakers, it wouldn't make any sense for a machine from the future to come back in time and sound like a German hillbilly, essentially. So they wouldn't let him do it.
Okay, super aggressive, but all right.
That's the story.
All right.
Question number 2. In Star Wars: A New Hope, the Rebels attack the Death Star with 2 squadrons of X-Fighters, named Red Squadron and Gold Squadron. However, originally they would be named Red Squadron and what? Blue Squadron. Good. I didn't even finish reading the rest of the question, but go ahead, Ben.
Is it Blue Squadron? A.
Ben, that is correct. They originally went
Star
with
Wars
Blue.
knowledge.
Yes, they originally decided to change from Blue Squadron because it interfered with the blue screens they were using instead of green screens. So they went with Gold Squadron in the end. Question number 3. Which Marvel Cinematic Universe star once bullied a classmate in their youth for reading comic books about a character who they would later go on to star as? Was it A, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, B, Chris Evans as Captain America, C, Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, or D, Chris Hemsworth as Thor?
Buzz.
Ben?
Ooh.
Was it Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man?
That it was. You were correct as well.
Oh. Lucky
So
bald
that's
head.
6 points for Ben. 3 for Jesse.
Brianna, you gotta get in here.
I know. Oh man, I'm already losing.
Well, be ready because they're only going to get harder. Question number 4.
Great.
While filming 1962's epic Lawrence of Arabia, the king of what country lent soldiers to the movie and also fell in love with the British secretary on the set, whose son would later become the country's current king? Was it A, Sudan, B, Oman, C, Jordan, or D, the UAE?
Buzz.
Go ahead.
I have no idea, but I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and go with C.
That is correct.
No way.
What?
Well done. Well done.
Wow.
I
The
had no
current
idea.
king of Jordan, Abdullah II, I believe, was born to a British secretary who worked on Lawrence of Arabia, and his father, Abdullah I, who actually knew the real Lawrence of Arabia,
Wow.
which is why he was so involved in the production. Another bit of trivia for you there.
Thank you.
Number 5. In Alien, the titular alien's jaw tendons are made from what strange material? Was it A, chewed bubblegum, B, socks, C, old newspapers, or D, shredded condoms?
Buzz.
Go ahead, Ben.
This is actually some pretty old trivia. It's D, shredded condoms.
That is correct.
What? Okay.
I know my condom trivia, guys. When it comes to condoms,
Man knows his
just know.
condom trivia.
Oh
What else
my
does he know?
God.
I know my condoms.
Okay, let's settle down, okay?
Relax.
Number 6.
Exactly.
Let's keep it PG, you know?
Sir Anthony Hopkins won an Oscar for Best Actor for his performance in this film, despite only being on screen for 24 minutes of the film's almost 2-hour runtime. A, Silence of the Lambs, B, Nixon, C, The Two Popes, or D, The Father? Anytime, guys.
Ooh.
I'm torn between. I'm just gonna take a buzz. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark
Go ahead,
here.
Ben.
I think he was in. C. The Two Popes.
That is incorrect.
Is
Brianna,
it-
first one, go ahead.
A?
That it is correct.
Oh my God,
She's on the board.
Was he? Was
on
he
the
not
board.
in there for more than 24
He
minutes?
was only in Silence of the
Honestly?
Lambs for 24 minutes. Most
I
of
need
it
to
is
watch
crazy.
that.
It's
Oh,
surprising. I know.
way. What?
That makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense to me.
He was in all four of those movies, though. So, question number 7. Warner Brothers insisted on adding several lines of explanatory dialogue against the wishes of the writers of what famous film, calling it the flick that nobody understands? A. Fight Club. B. The Matrix. C. Interstellar. Or D. Forrest Gump.
Buzz.
Jesse?
I'm gonna go with B.
That is correct. It was The Matrix.
Let's go.
The Wachowskis were very
But-
much against adding so much explanatory dialogue, but Warner Brothers forced them to do it because they didn't understand the flick at all.
I didn't understand it either. That's why it was my guess.
There you go. Question
Maybe
number
they
8.
should have.
What is the most recent movie to be added to the archives of the United States Library of Congress due to achieving culturally, historical, or aesthetically significant status, worthy of preservation? Was it A. Brokeback Mountain, B. The Dark Knight, C. The Hurt Locker, or D. Boys Don't Cry?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Ben?
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight, that is correct.
Wow, that was my guess too.
All of those movies have been added, but The Dark Knight is the most recent.
Okay.
I remember reading about that. It's the only reason I got.
Well, that's an unfair advantage, don't you think?
Like reading online an article is
No, I-
unfair.
Ben's cheating.
We are-
You're putting
I'm
some
just
slander on my
reading-
name here. Whoa.
Brianna, Jesse, you need to do more reading.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah, I
Question number
probably
9.
do.
In the movie Shrek, actor Mike Myers voices the titular character Shrek with a Scottish accent. What accent did the character originally have before Myers decided to change it, forcing the studio to re-record all of his lines? Canadian, British, Germanic, or Texan?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Ben?
Shot in the dark. I'm going for C.
Incorrect.
Buzz.
Jesse,
Buzz.
Jesse was next.
B.
Incorrect. Brianna?
A?
That is correct.
Wow.
Really?
Believe it or not.
Canadian?
He originally did it in a Canadian accent before deciding
No
he'd rather make
way.
it Scottish, and then they had to re-record all of his lines.
I would
Wow.
love to hear that version. Like,
So would I.
So would I?
Good.
Yeah.
Question number 10. We're going to get a little bit more darker with this one. In the movie
Alright.
The Exorcist, the sound of the demon leaving main character Regan's body is actually the sound of what animal being herded into a slaughterhouse? Chickens, cows, pigs, or sheep?
Buzz.
Jesse?
B.
Sorry, C you said?
Yeah.
C, that is correct. It was pigs.
Let's go.
jeez, that's
Kids on
brutal.
fire.
Should know that.
We have time for 2 more questions. I believe, Ben, you're in the lead. The other 2 have to make this count.
All right.
According to the famous
Alright.
urban legend, which critically acclaimed film was the first to show a toilet on screen? Was it A. Casablanca, B. Citizen Kane, C. Gone with the Wind, or D. Psycho?
Buzz.
Ooh. We're gonna go with Ben first. I think you got that first.
Was it A, Casablanca?
It was not A. Jesse?
I was gonna go with D.
Yeah.
It was Psycho, D.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Let's go indeed. The final question. Is
Let's
everyone
go.
ready?
Yeah.
Oh, we're ready.
The intelligent supercomputer in Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey goes by what 3-letter first name? Sam, Ike, Hal, or Joe?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Jesse got it first.
I don't know this, but I'm gonna go A.
He's going to go with A. Sam. Sam is the name of a supercomputer in a very famous movie, but it's not 2001: A Space Odyssey. That's incorrect. Ben, you have
I
to pick
have
up.
not seen the movie. God, I'm gonna go with. My gut says Joe, but I'm gonna go with C. How?
Your gut said Joe.
But I don't trust my
Went
gut.
with
I'm
C.
just gonna go with Al. How?
Hal 9000 is correct.
Woo!
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
Never trust how you feel on the inside.
Ben,
life
you
lesson.
have won today's show of QuizzleSlam. That's all
As
the
a
time we
great
have for today. As for my 3 guests of Ben, Jesse, and Brianna, thank you and goodbye.
Let's go!
oh my god.